So you talked about your Airbnb. From a financial standpoint, have you made more money, let's say this year? You're at about
100% more.
But you've made more with us this year than you did off of the two.
Absolutely. Yeah, without
And
question.
I say that because a lot of people, I'm going to go into real estate. I'm going to build houses and that. Yeah, you can, but the profit margins are not that huge.
I don't know what other business you get into that you make this kind of money like this quick.
All right, welcome to True Talk. Got a special guest with me today, my man Matt Gauthier. How we doing, bro?
Doing awesome. Thanks for having me out today.
Thanks for coming, dude.
Blast.
You got the hair all done up for me and everything. Look at that.
I got to look a little bit younger than
right?
I am.
I'm just mad because I can't do that.
Yeah, I don't got much left, so
you're hanging out strong, though. But I appreciate you coming out doing this. And guys, thanks for joining. If you've not already, subscribe to the channel. Put on that little bell notification so you know when we drop new videos. We're at you every week with True Talk on Tuesdays and again on Friday with The Next Level. So, dude, let's hop into this. It was funny. I was talking to Paz the other day, and I was like, dude, you got anyone who's like really kicking ass right now? And he's got a handful.
Yeah,
but I'm like, someone that I've not interviewed yet. And he's like, oh, yeah, I got this guy, man. You'd like him, Matt Gauthier. I'm like, dude, I know Matt Gauthier. He's like a blast from the past. You've been here for a while.
2020, 19, I think.
19 is when you joined us.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about that, but first I want to kind of talk about your story because you kind of have a unique story. I think all of us do, right?
Yeah,
most of us.
Definitely.
But so are you from this area originally, right?
From this area, yeah. Preston, been in Preston my whole life, 50 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what line of work were you in growing up?
So this is kind of funny, and it this transitions into life insurance kind of. When I was younger, we didn't have a lot of money. When I needed money, I would buy something and sell it.
Okay.
Right? I would spend my money to make money.
Got it.
Right? So that's kind of what I did. I went to Easter.
Well, like yard sale stuff or like where?
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid buying, I needed some money. I bought a motorcycle, sold it, made some money. I'm like, this is pretty cool. You invest your money to make money.
Yeah.
Right? Which transitions way down the road to life insurance, right? And then I was big time into sports, went to Eastern, where I knew Sean from.
Okay.
Played baseball when I was there. And then fourth year of college, they put you in the school, right? Mm-hmm. First day they put me in the school, I quit. I'm like, I cannot do this. I do not want to be a teacher in a school for the rest of my life. I literally quit school the day they put us in there.
Really?
Right, yep.
What were you studying?
Phys ed and minor in coaching. So I was going to be a gym teacher, right? Then coach. So I'm like, oh, this will be a blast. First day they put me in there, I was like, this is not what I'm called to do.
What was it about? What was the main thing that drove you away?
I think I felt like I was going to be in school for the rest of my life, and I didn't like school.
Okay.
Right? So came home. My parents had some land. I was like, hey, I'm going to build a golf course. And they're like, we don't have any money. We don't have any. I'm like, I'm going to write a business plan. I'm going to build a golf course, and I'm just going to do it. You know what I mean?
Why golf?
I was always into golf, and I didn't know what to do.
Okay.
Right? I just had a whole plan for my life, and then all of a sudden, I'm home.
Yeah.
No school, no nothing. I got to figure it out. Right.
Were you early 20s at this point?
Yeah, I think I was 8, 9. Yeah, early, about 20.
Okay.
Yeah. So they thought I was crazy. I'm like, so I wrote a business plan, went to every bank. They're like, we're not giving you anything.
How much were you asking for?
Dude, I think I wanted when I started, I only wanted $250,000.
Okay.
Right. This was back. Gosh, what was this? 93, 4, 5, 96-ish, 97. And I didn't have nothing. Nobody's going to give a 20-year-old. And then after I started figuring out more, and I'm like, I can build this myself. I can do this myself. It's just work hard, right?
Okay.
Like we were kind of talking about before. Hard work is what gets you where you need to be. So a bank finally took a chance on me. Me and my dad literally built it. We took, a year and a half to 2 years to build the golf course.
Wow.
Opened it up, and it was great. And ran it for 6 or 7 years, and then ended up selling that.
Okay.
And then I kind of just used that money again to invest and make money, buy and sell things like when I was younger.
Yeah. Got it. So you went from the golf course. What was the next, I guess, big venture where you were buying
it was kind of smaller things like real estate.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like buy land, sell land, buy different things. Just buy and sell. Honestly, what I knew from when I was a kid. Right?
Yeah.
You invest money, you're going to make money.
Did you know at the beginning, you got the money,
Yep.
you're going to start building this golf course. Did you know it was going to be a success?
I didn't know anything.
Were you unsure?
I didn't know anything.
No.
I didn't even know how to take care of grass. I didn't know how to do anything. But I'm like, I feel like I'm the kind of person that I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I'll work as hard as I have to work to figure it out.
How'd you figure it out? Because this is like before the day. Like today, you could go on YouTube and probably learn how to build a golf course your damn self. Like, how did you figure this out then?
There was a gentleman at Stonington Country Club that was a superintendent. They were building a course, so I went and knocked on the door.
Wow.
Right. And I'm like, hey, here's what I'm looking to do. And he's like, you're out of your mind. But I'm like, hey, I'm going to do it. So we became great friends. And then I kind of learned through him and just listening to people. And
so you found someone who's already done what you're looking to do, has been successful at it, and just took a shot hey, tell me how to do this.
That's it. That's literally
and
it.
First,
and then,
he's like, you're crazy.
He was. And then like learned along the way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like anything else, just learned along the way.
Yeah.
So then after that, I think it was like 2018-ish. Well, Family First Life started in 13, right? 2013.
End of 13, 14,
I was friends with Sean on Facebook, and then every Friday he would go on.
Yep.
Right? He would post like numbers and he'd post different things, and I'm like, that is not real. Like those, right? Like those numbers cannot be real.
Yeah. And you're talking what, 20 grand per? Like what?
I think back then it was like they were doing 20 grand a month, even 15 grand a month. Or,
a lot less than what y'all are doing now.
Yeah, a lot less than now. But I'm like, that's pretty cool. Like, what is this? So I didn't jump in right away. I just watched.
It was intriguing.
Watched. You know what I mean? And then I knew a couple other people that were doing it. So I saw them on Facebook, started asking some questions, and then I finally reached out to Sean. I remember the text message on Facebook, a messenger on Facebook. I was like, hey, what is this? He's like, go talk to Eric Schmidt. Right. So went and talked to Eric, and I'm like, you got to explain everything to me. I think Eric hated me when I was in that first meeting because I asked every single question possible. Yeah. You know what I mean? Going back to, hey, I'll figure this out, but I'm going to ask 1,000,001 questions. And then honestly, really just jumped in.
Okay.
Like I didn't jump in like, hey, I want to do this. Everybody thinks you sell a golf course and you have all this money. It wasn't that. Like I had debt. I had different things that I had to pay.
Yeah.
But I knew if you spend money, you make money.
Right.
That's just the world. So
you learned from growing up. Experience.
So I remember going in with Eric, and I'm like, just give me the most expensive leads. Like, what are the most expensive leads that you had? Like, how does this work? And
were you part-time in the beginning? Like when we first met, you weren't doing what you're doing now.
No. I was just part-time doing it kind of like on the side. You know what I mean? And like, hey, this is pretty cool. This is interesting. Figuring it out.
Yeah.
Really just figuring it out. Because still didn't really believe like the numbers were legit. Right.
Because you knew Sean from school, but you've never been in business or worked with him, right?
No, not at all.
So for all you know, you're like, listen, I know the guy, but this could be some silly shit they're doing over here.
Absolutely. And I remember like, as everybody that knows Sean, he is a worker. He's a hard worker.
Sure.
He goes at it. Like our kids grew up together in school. So I used to talk to Sean all the time. I remember a pretty funny story. We were at a roller skating rink and the kids were all roller skating. Sean's over there like, and I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm gonna transform the insurance industry. And we were like, okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
right.
But that's Sean. He was a worker. He did what it takes to get to where you want to be.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? So that's how I got into it. I just jumped in full bore. But like I said, I was only doing 15, 20 hours, maybe.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But that's when we're driving all over New England.
Right.
Right? Like if you're in it now and you're doing virtual, it is completely different.
Sure.
Like completely different. I remember getting in the car. I would have an appointment in Providence. Then I would have an appointment in Hartford. Then I'd have an appointment in New Haven. I was driving everywhere. Mm-hmm. But my goal was when I started, I'll do whatever it takes to figure out how this works.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like back then they were saying you have to get into 100 houses and then you'll figure out what to do. Right? That's how, and I'm like,
how long did it take you to get into 100 houses?
Oh my God. I remember the first month, like I just drove and drove. And I'm like, I'm going to figure this out.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I'm going to jump in full bore, see if it works, how it works. First month, I'm like, this is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What was it about? Because obviously you've grown a lot since then.
Yeah.
You weren't, selling what you're selling now. But what was it about that first month that made you feel it was the best thing ever?
It's not hard work. You're not digging ditches.
Right.
I wasn't building greens. I wasn't on the back of an excavator. I'm driving somewhere. This
Right.
might be hard work, but I'm driving somewhere. I'm listening to the podcast. I'm listening to, okay, what do you do when you're in this situation? How do you make this sale? So it wasn't hard. So I thought from what I had came from, it was easy work with good money.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I knew I could I can just keep reinvesting in this. If I keep reinvesting in this, then the numbers are the numbers.
That's the thing. What we do, I'd say it's simple, not easy.
Right.
It takes a certain type of individual because more people fail than actually have success here.
Yep.
But it's very simple. It's not rocket science. You're meeting with people that have asked for something. You go out there, and now it's over the phone. But when you joined, it was you sent me this form. You asked about life insurance. I came to your house, showed you some options. We both picked one that fits your budget. I wrote you a policy.
That's it.
You're covered. I got paid about $700.
That's it.
Not a bad program.
That's it.
Simple.
But you have the first 2 appointments I went to, I remember they were in Springfield, Mass.
Okay.
First door I knock on, knock, knock, knock. Daughter comes to the door, and she's like, no, my mom doesn't want to do it anymore. And you freeze right away, right? And I'm like, just get into this house. My goal wasn't to sell a policy. My goal wasn't to do whatever, but just get into this house. So I literally just straight out, listen, I drove an hour to get here. You said you wanted me. Your mom said she wanted me here. Can I just speak with her? End up getting in the house. That woman, I didn't sell a policy to. She never came out of the kitchen. I stayed in the living room and had the conversation back and forth. But I took that as a huge growing point. Like, hey, I got into the house. That was my goal.
Yeah.
Second house I went to that day, it was like the lay down of lay downs. And I'm like, oh yeah, they're all going to be like this, right? Yeah, they're all going to be lay downs. But those were two. I think it was huge for me to get into that house.
Yeah.
Not worried about the sale, but worry about, hey, I'm going to get into this house no matter what I do, and I'm going to figure it out.
Right.
How
long would you say you were kind of working that part-time schedule?
For a while, I did it for a while.
More than a year? Or?
Yeah, probably more than a year.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? More than a year, really just trying to figure everything out. I had a couple other business things going on that I was doing too.
Dude, full transparency, I didn't even know you still worked with us, bro. Because I met you early. I remember, I think it was Schmidt was like, dude, you'll like this guy. He's part-time. He's doing well. He's got a good personality, whatever. We met. We did a podcast early on, probably your first year with us.
Oh, definitely.
Because you were still part-time then. Yeah. And dude, I never heard from you since. Yeah. And then when Paz I got a guy, Matt Gauthier. I'm like, he's still here? Yeah. It's he's at $300K. I'm like, holy shit, he's about to hit Hall of Fame. Yeah. There's a lot in that. Number one, the amount of agents we have, right? Hitting, selling $300K is awesome. But when you look at how many people do it, there's a lot of people which is amazing. Yeah. But it's still a lot of life insurance, It is. So it's kind of how you could almost float under the radar for a few years. Yeah. But so when did you decide to kind of make that shift to at least increasing your efforts here?
I would probably say, I would probably say 2.5 years in.
Okay.
Maybe like that. And I'm like, okay. Like I said, I had a couple other things on the side that I was finishing up. I built a couple Airbnbs.
So you didn't need this money to survive. It was an extra thing.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then, but I always knew when I was doing, for instance, me and my wife have this conversation all the time. I built an Airbnb and I did a lot of the work myself. And I'm like, I'm losing money over here.
Sure.
Right? If I put this time into life insurance, this is a no-brainer.
Right.
You know what I mean? So what am I doing?
Right.
And then that's kind of was the change of hey, this is just, I'm wasting my time doing anything else. Yeah.
That's a huge point. And I think that it takes a while for someone who's not been in business to understand that, right? Initially you just think work, I got to do the work. I got, I need windows replaced at home. I got to do it. Oil change. I got to do it. Yep. But the time that you take doing that, when you can sit down with a client, let's say, you're at 100% comp. Yep. Let's say the premium's $1,000 a year, 83 and change a month. We write higher, lower, but let's just use that simple math, right? You're going to advance 75% up front. So you're going to make $700 roughly off of one policy. Now, some are bigger, some are smaller. Yep. And the appointment, even back in the day, if it takes you an hour to get to the house and you're in there for 45 minutes, call it 3 hours. You made $750. Yeah. Or maybe you met with two people. You made $1,500 in 3 hours. Yep. and the amount of time it's taken you to go, whatever, build out this Airbnb, you're like, dude, you could have sold 4 policies and paid someone to do that.
I 100% lost money building that Airbnb and not doing insurance.
Yeah.
100%. Like, it's not even a question when you look back at it.
Right.
You know? And then after that's kind of when I was like, yeah, I'm all in.
Was that what kind of gave you that
realistically.
How big was the Airbnb?
I had 2 of them. So I built 2 in like a 4-year period.
Okay.
So
when you say built, like you built a house and then hosted it on Airbnb?
Just for Airbnb.
Okay.
Yeah. So they took a lot of time.
Sure.
I lost money those 2 years.
I bet. How big were the houses?
2,200 square feet, and the other one's like 1,200 square feet.
So
you know what I mean? Just rentals on a lake in Preston.
But a decent little job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm like, you think, oh yeah, that's residual income. The insurance money,
for a
who
long
cares
time.
about? Yeah.
Right. It can be.
Yeah, it can be, but not even close.
No.
You know?
Yeah.
So that was kind of after that, I'm like, I'm all in. You know what I
Okay.
mean? And then it was awesome. I got my daughter, you know, she was trying to figure out what she wanted to do. I went to community college for a couple of years, and I'm like, you'd be really good at this, like really good at this.
Yeah.
And having a mentor in this business, I think, is huge.
Yeah.
Or somebody that you can even work with. Like me and James, we were like tied together from the beginning of this business, right? And having somebody that you can bounce stuff off, because you're going to have great days, you're going to have frustrating days.
Absolutely.
If you can take the emotion out of this business is when you really succeed.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's great to sell a $250 a month policy.
Sure.
But the way you act when you do that is the same way when somebody charges back or doesn't want. You just, if you take the emotion out of it, you're going to grow.
How long did it take you to learn that?
I'm not a very like emotional guy. So I think that was the thing that was easier.
Yeah.
Like, I always say my stress level stays at about a 2.
Got it.
You know what I mean? I'm just, I don't get excited about.
Yeah. All right. So for the people who can't do that, what's your secret? How do you do that?
Figure out how to do it. Like, or how do I do it?
Yeah, how do you remain unemotional?
So I would say mine's very like faith-based, to be honest.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm a Christian. I trust in Jesus as my Lord and Savior.
Gotcha.
I really think like, I think of business and I think of things like that as, that's my job, but that's not my calling.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? That's really how I live my life. So whether I sell 10 policies a day or whether I get 10 chargebacks a day, it really doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
I know everything's going to work out.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's strong.
That's kind of like how I am. So the motion thing, like, we have a few people, and I'm just starting to get some people underneath me now after being here for so long, right? Because I think the opportunity is huge, and I have some people who are like emotional about things, and I'm like, that's the first thing you have to get under control.
Right.
Like, don't worry about the money. The money will come. Like, your emotions, if you can get those under control, that's how you succeed in this business.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
And that's on both sides. Like you said, it's easy to, when you sell 3 in a row to ride that high. And then what happens typically is then you start cutting out small things that make a big difference, right?
Absolutely.
I don't need to send my credentials. I don't really need to go through the financial inventory. I don't need to really get there. Why? He said he wanted to cover it. And then all of a sudden, I talk about a lot in here. My worst day from a production standpoint in this business was when I went 0 for 10. And it wasn't my first week, bro. I've been here for like 6 months. I've been selling 20 plus grand a month every month. And then I had one day I was riding that high. Dude, I met with 10 people, had 10 appointments. They all were there. Yep. And I couldn't close a damn one of them. But I was riding that. And then the other side of what you were talking about earlier is when you have that chargeback or you go 3 in a row without helping someone. Yep. So if you can't take a step out and look at the big picture, sometimes it's hard to get out of that headspace of like, oh man, this sucks. Yeah. But you can easily look back to like, well, dude, I didn't have this issue last week before, or maybe you're brand new. Right. Okay. But you mentioned earlier having a mentor or someone, just like you had when you were building your golf course. It ain't one person here like you had. There's, dude, thousands of people you could, work with.
If you can't find anybody, there's something wrong.
Sure.
There's something wrong. Even just listening to podcasts, listening to different, you can find somebody. If you're trying to do it all your own, good luck.
Right.
Like literally.
And why would you?
Makes no sense.
Right? This is not art. It's not like, I reinvent the wheel, do my own thing. No, it's a formula.
Find what somebody's doing and copy it.
Sure.
Literally copy it. Sean, you say that all the time. Like, if you see somebody that's making $2,000 a month or you see somebody's making $50,000 a month, which one do you want to talk to?
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like find the people that are succeeding and copy what they do, you know?
Now, how much were you like plugged into the things we do, the events, the conventions, even when you were part-time?
To be honest, I wasn't.
You weren't?
No,
Okay.
I wasn't. Not for any reason. I just had a lot of other stuff going on. Do you know what I mean? So I wasn't. Okay. That's probably why you didn't see me.
Got it. So have you been to any?
I honestly have not.
Okay. Are you going to go next year?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right.
I was going to go this year with my daughter, but we had other plans. So it's like having her in this business with me is like awesome. Like,
how long has she been in this business now?
I think she's just about a year now.
Okay.
Yes, and she's crushing it. Yeah, but the difference is too, it's like you watch, she's got her emotions under control now finally, but at the beginning, it's the leads. It's the this. Oh, yeah. I'm not getting this. This isn't happening.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just want to jump in a car with you and drive around and just have you go knock on somebody's door that you have no idea who they are. It's completely different now.
Yeah.
You know, but I think that's really like,
how did she get there? Like, I'm assuming you helped, but how?
Oh yeah. Definitely like just guiding her. Like, and even the first month she jumped in, I was like, "You're spending." I think we did $2,500 your first month. So she was 18 years old. She's like, $2,500. I'm like, yeah, you're gonna take the money out of your banking account. You're gonna put it into leads.
Yeah.
Are you gonna help me? Absolutely not.
No.
You're going to do that yourself, and you're going to figure it out. I will help you with, hey, here's where you need to go if something happens. Call me with questions.
Sure.
And it's funny, after she started, I learned so much stuff from her too, right? Like that younger generation, they know a lot more about computers than I do. You know what I mean? They know a lot more about. I remember one day she's doing an appointment, and I walk in, and I'm talking to her for like 5 minutes, and she's like, "Oh, I got somebody on hold." What do you mean you got somebody on hold? I'm like, I always talk to somebody. He goes, no, just tell them that you're on hold, and I'm going to figure out all the information to get them the best policy that fits them. I'm like, you just keep them on hold? She's like, I do it all the time. They're perfectly fine with it. And I'm like, I never thought of that. I'm always trying to make small talk.
Right.
And she literally was like, they don't want you just to keep talking to them. If you find somebody that's on the phone that likes to talk, then stay on and talk with them. If not, they don't want to talk to you either.
And it's normal. I mean, if you call your credit card company right now, I got some questions. They're gonna be like, hold on, put you on hold. You call, wherever you're going on vacation, you call the hotel to ask for some stuff. They're gonna put you on hold.
You don't want somebody talking to you about their whole day and what they're doing. Right. So I learned a ton from her too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's fun. I will say I'm having the most fun just with her. We got a couple other people, and we're kind of just like our team, just having fun. Like, if you can't have fun in this, you're not going to have fun. And don't go start a business.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, don't. Like, you have things you're going to struggle with, things you're not going to struggle with, but this business gives you every answer that you can find the answer to any question. If you can't find it in 2 minutes, then there's something wrong. Because Family First Life has so many resources, so many things. You can find the information. Mm-hmm. Then it's just getting plugged in. And honestly, I'm going to invest this to get this.
Right. And another reason I say what we do is simple is, first of all, there's not 30 different product types we're selling. It's a pretty simple bag of, tricks, if you will.
Yeah.
And if you've been in this business selling full time for more than a year, you've ran into every situation you're going to run into.
Everything.
So anything your daughter brings up to you, you've already dealt with it. You're never going to be like, dude, I don't know. That's a new one. I don't know what to do with that kind of client. You're like, oh, I know that's this. They just say that, do that. Like you, once you've ran enough appointments, gotten to enough homes, you know what to expect.
Exactly.
It's not that deep.
It's not hard.
It's a grind.
It's definitely a grind. And that's the thing I think people do need to understand, right? Like, a lot of people, when they see numbers, they're like, oh, that's easy money. Right. And I think that's a huge disadvantage. Like, if you've owned a business, if you'd invest some money, right away, there's nothing easy about that. Nope. Those numbers are there. It might be a lot easier than going to college for 10 years to get your doctorate to be a doctor, because we're making doctor money easily.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
But there's still work. There's still going to be some grinds. Mm-hmm. There's still going to be things that you have to do. And that's what I told Ariana, like, when she started. I'm like, there's days you're going to want to cry. There's days you're going to want to quit. But I'm like, you're not sitting in college for 6 years. You're not coming out with crazy college debt. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's kind of just had this conversation with a couple people that are underneath us. I'm like, you have the opportunity to learn this business and make money, or even break even.
Yeah.
You go start any other business. Dude, the golf course, I didn't make any money, right? Like, and I put to a loan, I had everything, I had money in.
Right.
Like, it's almost like going to college and having the college, going to a class and they being like, hey, you know what? By the time you leave this class today, you might not have to pay for it, right? Like that's kind of this business, you know what I mean? Because you can, but I think people need to understand, like, a lot of people that came from, you know, W-2 jobs, you're expected, oh, I work this 40 hours a week. This is what I'm going to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
Just go talk to some business owners.
Right.
See how many hours they put in, how many years they put in before they took a paycheck.
Sure.
And it's not years here.
No.
You know what I mean? It might be a few months. You could crush it your first couple months.
Right.
You know, but I think that's a huge thing to understand.
Yeah.
You know?
It's funny you say that. It's a good segue to our agent of the week here. So this agent's a rookie. His name's Omar El Said. If I said that wrong, I apologize. But as of July, he's the fastest rookie to be on track to hit Hall of Fame. So first year with us. And I think he sold 99,000 last month, so almost
That's
100K.
awesome.
Yeah, not a bad program. So we got a nice little testimonial here.
This is Omar checking in with Family First Life, fastest rookie to Hall of Fame in 6 months. And one advice I have for all rookie agents is to obsessively learn from top performers. Shadow their calls, study their techniques, obsessively seek for their feedback to accelerate your growth. Make fewer mistakes to get further ahead.
It sounds so simple, right? Almost like a no-brainer, but there are people, and I remember we used to go to these meetings, dude. We'd show up, and there'd be the guy who sells nothing. And he's got a group of people around him. I got a question for you. What about this rider and this product and that? And I mean, you know, Sean, he'd go like, why are you asking him anything? He sold $1,000 year to date. Like, but it seems, you know, it's not a simple concept. Because if it was, we wouldn't have to talk about it. But if you are joining this business, I don't care who recruits you. Find someone that is doing what you want to do.
Absolutely.
And follow them. You lucked out. Eric Schmidt sold a bunch. Paz sold, built a big business. But that's not always how it works.
No, it's definitely not. Like, that's really good advice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like it's with anything you do. Find the people that are doing it good. That's the people you want to surround yourself with.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Find out who's good. Like me and James we hit it off at the beginning and kind of we worked as a team, which was huge because we could neither one of us knew anything, right? But we would watch podcasts, ask a million questions, and then hit each other up for, hey, I'm having this. What do you think we should do? Well, let's do this. Oh, that wasn't the right thing to do.
Right.
So let's go here now. You know, so I think it's very important to have somebody you connect with in this business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you ever go to the gym and you see somebody being trained by a personal trainer and you're like, that trainer looks like that person. It should be opposite.
Switched.
Like I'm trying to be mean, but like the trainer is 3 times the size of the person they're training.
Yep.
What are they teaching them?
Yep.
Something screwed up here.
Yep.
Well, I went when I got a barber a couple years ago. Went to his barbershop. Everybody was good there. There was one barber that was bald with a beard. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to give him a shot first because he knows the importance of the beard because he's bald. The other guy's got this nice hair. I don't know, man. They might screw me up.
That's so true.
So, but it's like you find someone that's doing the things you want to do and just you just copy them.
It. All you do is copy.
You don't have to reinvent the wheel.
No, all you do is copy them.
Like was it Schmidt? Who was it early on for you that was your kind of go-to so you could, I guess, learn how to do this?
Schmidt, definitely. Yeah. I would definitely go to Schmidt and ask Schmidt a lot of questions, which he's like, oh, I remember being on things. He's like, oh, Gauthier's here. He's going to ask 1,000,001 questions.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? And then James, like we just kind of like would go different spots and check different things out. And even though I was quiet, I would watch a lot of things and I would listen to a lot do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you mentioned the podcast, so back when you were driving appointments.
Yeah, I used to watch them all the time.
Yeah.
You know, and just listen. Hey, you get those little snippets that you get, like that you can use, and you're like, wow, I never thought of doing that. I never thought of anything like that. You know, so just consuming the information.
Absolutely.
Right? You only know what you know.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's a great point. A lot of it may seem redundant to someone who produces, but it's those little nuggets that, I mean, the industry evolves. I mean, think about where it's at now versus 4 or 5 years ago when you got a license.
It's a different world.
Like you came into this driving to people's homes and you lived through the whole transition to virtual telesales. So What was that like for you? Like, were you one of the late adapters? When did you
I was
jump?
definitely a late adapter.
Okay.
Because same thing, you have something that going good. Okay, I've got this business here that's going
Right.
good.
Why screw
You
it
want
up?
me to give this all up to go try this?
Yep.
And I'm like, I don't know. So I was keeping all your leads, all your
Right.
like things, paper leads, everything like that. I'm like, I can't give these up because this is going to be
Yeah.
what I want to do. And then just again, perfect thing like we were just talking about. I watched other people that did it, right? That were doing the same thing as me. I watched them, and they're like talking to them on the phone. Oh yeah, I'm not driving anywhere. My gas bill's nothing. You know what I mean? I'm actually spending a little more time with my kids. I'm going to my
Correct.
kids' games. So again, just watching
Right.
what people do, copying it.
I'm sitting here. I don't even have pants on. I just got a shirt. I'm just like,
That's the
dude,
best.
it's crazy when you.
I'll be in the middle of mowing the lawn and know that I got an appointment. I'll jump off. I'll be in the middle of the work doing something, jump off.
Yeah.
Like, where else are you doing that?
Nowhere.
You know?
And not
Nowhere.
making money. I mean, you
And
probably
yeah,
do it places and not make
Not
money.
make money. Yeah, we'll make the money that we're making. It's nowhere.
Right.
You know?
And I get it. It's, I mean, who wouldn't be hesitant where, you know, you've been in the business for a few years already. You learned how to make money this way.
Yeah.
And we're all going, no, dude, change it up. You know, I think back to like big companies like Netflix.
Yeah.
You remember the old Netflix,
Yep.
right? DVDs in the mail.
Yep.
Remember this
Oh,
shit?
yeah.
Oh,
It
yeah.
would- yeah. You went to the thing at like Walmart and
Yep.
put it in too. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there was that you could return them there.
Yeah.
But early on, they were just shipping DVDs out,
Yeah.
right? And then Netflix, they were smart enough to know that this is not where it's going to be in the future. They cannibalized their own company to create a streaming platform.
Yep.
And now they're, I mean, I don't know all the stats, but they're one of the biggest.
yeah, they're huge.
I mean, they had the fight, you know, a couple weeks ago,
Yep.
the Canelo fight. There's NFL games on there. There's WWE programming on. There's all kinds of live content. And it could have crashed and burned, right?
Yeah.
We put all this money in this DVD distribution and then, no, stop that. Let's do this.
Yeah.
But look where it's at. And, you know, it's, no, we ain't doing Netflix numbers, but our production from the days of going out in the home to doing everything virtual telesales, dude, it's probably about doubled.
Yeah. It's completely different. And then that's where I learned from my daughter, right? She's been on the internet her whole life. She knows how to do different things. And I'm like, okay, you can gain some knowledge from somebody who's new,
Absolutely.
right? So, and then all of a sudden, a couple weeks ago, she sold like 9 policies in 7 days. I'm like knocking on her bedroom door. Hey, what's going on
What are
in
you
there?
doing?
Like, what are you doing? Like, are you doing something different? You know, I'm going to gain some stuff
Yep.
from you, you know? So that's huge.
Yeah. So what's that been like? I mean, working with your daughter, number one, but also helping her learn this business to where now she's profitable. Like, she's making money.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Right? Like I when we had the golf course, the best part of that whole thing was just working with my dad.
Yeah.
Right? Like I think that's awesome. Not many people get to do that. The relationship we had was awesome. Men are a little bit different, right? Like you and me can get into a screaming fight now, and then we're like, dude, let's go get some food.
Right. Yeah.
With the daughter, that's a little bit different.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right? But no, it's awesome. Like just watching her grow, watching her succeed, watching her work hard, and still be able to have kind of like that freedom, because it is free. You bust your butt, but you definitely can have some freedom, and nobody's telling you what to do.
Sure.
Right. And when she started, I'm like, Ari, listen, for like 4 months, just give me like 40 hours a week. If you can give me 40 hours a week, that'll be great. Do you think that happened? No, that didn't happen. So it took her a little bit longer.
Okay.
Right. Like, I'm like, listen, if you just give those 40 hours, just 40 hours, it's summertime.
Right.
I just made $2,500 this morning at 9 o'clock. I'm going here. Well, what about learning about this? No. So then she then after that, she's like, yeah, I got to hunker down. You know what I mean? And now she sees her friends getting out of college with crazy debt, can't find a job. And she's like, I don't know what she did last month, like 20 grand. She's like, I just did 20 grand last month.
Wow.
Right. So it's a huge blessing.
Yeah.
That's a huge blessing.
And it's a good learning experience for you, because if you can work with your own child, right?
Yeah.
Like your own daughter,
Yeah.
and help her go from selling nothing to selling $20K a month and at her own pace, right?
Yeah.
Because not everybody's going to come out like you did or like Schmidt did. Like it's a good lesson for when you're recruiting and bringing agents in, knowing that you have no idea what this individual's going to do. They may look the part. They may, the guys say, look right, smell right, all these great things. But then when it comes time to pick up the phone, or put the work in, they may not do anything.
Correct. There's so many people that can do this that do not put the effort in.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I get it, are nervous about spending the money. I get that.
Yeah.
I really get that. But if you're thinking, this isn't a job, like I kind of was talking to a couple of kids underneath us the other day, and I'm like, this isn't a job. This is a business that you're building, right? Like, it's not your W-2. You're not taking this day off. You can take whatever day you want off, but you're not going to be here long.
Correct.
You know? But I think it's just the opportunity's just huge.
Yeah.
You know?
Now, why did you not recruit early on? Why did, I guess, take
just
you
because
so
I had a bunch of other stuff going on.
So it wasn't that you didn't want to?
I didn't really. And remember, I like keeping my stress level at a 2.
Yes.
That's very hard to do.
Yeah, it
when
is.
you have a whole bunch of other people.
Yep.
Right? So I'll be honest, I'm kind of picky.
Yeah.
Like, I want that person that maybe you've owned a business. That's great because they know the hardships, or somebody who's willing to work their butt off.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? That's how you're going to survive, because you're going to have these up days. You're going to have these down days. Sean, I remember Sean used to always say, you might have a bad day, you might have a bad week, but you're never going to have a good month if you're working.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and that's what this business is. If you're working, you go sell 10 policies, you go on vacation for 2 weeks, you get a couple chargebacks. I always love that too. I'm working for nothing. You're working for nothing, right?
Yeah.
I got to pay all that back.
Right.
Well,
that was a loan, bro.
yeah, that's all it was. It wasn't even your money yet.
Correct.
You know? And that I think that is a big thing with having a mentor. Like with Ariana, we kind of set right away. I set her up with an accountant.
Yeah.
I set her up with, hey, you're going to pay taxes at the end of the year. Hey, you're going to get this percentage of chargebacks. So when you know that up front and you have somebody that's guiding you with that's big.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
What was the transition like for you going from in-home to are you virtual telesales? What are you doing?
Just all virtual, all phone. Yeah, all phone. I don't do any, just phone. No,
just phone, so telesales.
Yeah, no videos, nothing.
Got
like
it.
That. Super easy. I thought it was like cheating.
Really?
Yeah, like I if you can go into a home and talk to somebody and you can pick up the phone, oh gosh, this is a lot easier.
Right.
So it was honestly a lot easier for me.
Okay.
I did mostly mortgage protection. That's what I was doing before.
Yeah.
And now mostly all just final expense. But it wasn't. I thought it was a lot easier. I literally thought it was like cheating.
Wow.
You know, I was nervous about it.
Yeah.
I was 100% nervous about it, just because when we're talking like this, like I have your attention.
Right.
Right. When we're talking like this, I don't have
you don't know.
anybody's attention. But that gets to something very important where it's not. I don't think this business is sales. I think this business is educating the client.
Yeah.
Right. If you go into it as sales and I got to make a sale, I think you'll do okay.
Right.
But if you go into, hey, I have this client, I want to educate them, that's a huge difference.
Sure.
That's night and day. You show some compassion. You show that you care about them. You show, you get the thing, hey, how much is this? Right. Or you get the text message, hey, how much is this? Hey, this is not how it works. Like, I need to make sure I'm putting you in the best option that is going on. So I'm going to educate you. Do you have 2 minutes for a phone call? And you educating them? That's this whole business. It's not sales will come. All the sales come. The education is what it is.
And I think one of the main reasons why that's true is it's a lead-based sale and not like some bullshit lead.
Right.
Like, do you like, flowers? Yes. Oh, you want life insurance? Huh?
Yeah.
The leads are straightforward.
Right.
Like, do they sometimes say, I didn't know, I don't remember sending? Of course they say
100%.
I don't remember sending in. Everyone says that. But you have, whether it's a direct mail, whether it's they called in or something online, you have their personal information and what they read, saw, viewed, the video, talked about life insurance, which you show. We're going to talk about that on the next level later this week. But you're doing some lead stuff that is awesome and anyone can do. Yeah, I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't. But I think why you could say it ain't a sales because we're not cold calling or anything. We're not talking to anyone that didn't ask for help in the
People
first place.
filled out everything.
Right.
They gave you all their information. They told you about them. They say, this is what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think that's tough for a new agent coming in. Let's say you have 10 appointments on your schedule and a new agent, like 7 of those don't pick up, but 3 do. A new agent's like, 7 people didn't pick up. I'm like, 3 people picked up? That's awesome.
Right.
right? Like taking those positive, like that's awesome.
Yeah.
I knocked on 10 doors before and nobody showed up.
Sure.
And a dog chased me and bit my leg.
Absolutely.
You know, like these people just didn't pick up. Perfect. Let's get those out of the way. We know we're going to have those. Let's move forward. Perfect.
Now, you talked about your Airbnb
Yep.
and you know, everything that went into that. From a financial standpoint, have you made more money, let's say this year here?
Yeah.
You're at about 300
100% more.
You know what you've
Way more.
grossed this year so far with us?
Like I'm not a
You can
numbers
say
guy.
it. Okay.
I honestly.
Okay. I mean, selling 300, I'm assuming probably over 2 already.
Oh yeah.
Easily.
Yeah. Easily. Like a lot of people were with virtual, you're going to get much more chargebacks.
No.
It's really not unless you're forcing these policies down people. It's the same exact thing that you got the other way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
But you've made more with us this year than you did off of the 2.
Absolutely. Yeah, without
and
question.
I say that because a lot of people, I'm going to go into real estate. I'm going to build houses and that. And yeah, you can, but the profit margins are not that huge.
I don't know what other business you get into that you make this kind of money like this quick.
Yeah.
And quick, I mean, like, let's say you're not crushing it till a year or 2 in. Well, those people are 4 years in college. They might have to go get their master's. Mm-hmm. They're in debt. They got to find a place to live, and they're not making any money.
Right.
You know,
you buy a property. You did real estate, right? I buy a multifamily, 4-family house or whatever, right? I got a mortgage. Maybe I do some renovation before I rent it out. How many years before I start making a profit on average?
We had a 4-family, and I think we had it for like 13 years, and we did with everything you put into it. I don't think we made money till like 7-8 years.
Really?
To be honest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I believe it.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And you don't mean like you weren't swimming in the money. Like, okay, I'm finally above the park.
That's it.
It ain't costing me money anymore.
And you're timing the economy, you're timing the market. From this business, you could tell with COVID, like this, I didn't see any change during COVID. What more actually? Probably was people are at home. You don't have to worry about the economy. You don't have to worry about the other things like that. You know what I mean? It's big. It's big.
Yeah,
difference.
that's crazy.
You know?
Well, we're gonna wrap up with a fun segment here, Matt, called "Would You Rather."
Awesome.
Okay, I'm gonna throw a handful of statements at you. You let me know which one you'd rather do. Okay. And then we will be back on the next level, and we're going to talk more about this running the business, lead flow, and how that stuff looks, because it's kind of like that is the next level to this, right?
100%.
You get started, you start selling, start recruiting, but you can start generating your own leads and really control your income, you know? All right, so number 1, Matt, would you rather have a client say, I'll think about it, or I have coverage through work?
I have coverage through work.
Okay. Would you rather get rejected 50 times in a row here, or go back to doing Airbnbs and all the other
times in a row?
I don't even have to keep going.
50 times easy.
Would you rather never get a chargeback again, but you can't recruit, or build a massive agency and deal with 30% chargebacks?
Massive agency, 30% charge.
It's part of the business, right?
Yeah.
And then that's a piece like, you're talking earlier about someone getting a chargeback and going, I'm working for free now. It's part of the business.
Part of the business.
Running a business.
100%.
Dude, if I open up a convenience store, there are a certain amount of things that are going to walk out the door and not be paid for.
100%.
I'm not going to chase every 5-year-old that steals a bag of Skittles.
Nope. You're going to buy more.
You're going to buy more.
That's it.
And it's kind of the same thing here. I mean, when someone cancels a policy, do we do our best to try to get it back on the books? Sure.
Yeah.
Call that client up. Hey, Matt, what changed from the last time we spoke? You were paying, $85 a month. Is that too much? You want to lower? A lot of times you can get it back. Sometimes you're like, no, Mike, I'm
out. I'm
moving
moving to the
I can't
next
do
one.
it. I'm moving, whatever. I got this other pot, whatever it may be. And it's part of the business.
Yep.
I mean, you mentioned when you were talking to your daughter about chargebacks, like a certain percentage is going to fall off the books.
You're getting it. Yeah.
How do you manage that? Because I think that is something that some managers don't talk enough about with their new agents. Like, dude, when I started, I had no idea what a chargeback was, Matt. I got my license in like September of 2009, and then I was part-time for a few months, and then January of 2010, I went full-time. In March, I learned what chargebacks were.
Yeah. Yeah, I was the same way. I was the same way to be. I'm like, what is this? Where did this come from?
Where's my money?
I don't understand this.
Dude, I had the two best pay weeks I ever had in life insurance. I was over 5K 2 weeks in a row, and I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
That third week, bro, I was like, where's my money?
I know.
I had 0, and then I had 0 again. But so how did you talk to your daughter? How do you talk to new agents about chargebacks?
So with my daughter, we set up separate accounts.
Okay.
Right? Like, hey, when this money goes into here, 15% of it is coming over here for a chargeback. Your tax money is going into this account. Now, that's a lot different. She's my daughter.
Okay.
Right? But I still have that conversation.
Yeah, so you'd give the same, if I was a new agent, you'd give me the same advice.
Exact same advice. Because I'm like, that's not your money.
Right.
I know they upfronted you that, but that's not your money until that person pays for it. You might need to use that some money for some stuff, but I've seen great people in this business, great salespeople, like make $25,000 a month, and then they're out because they can't cover the chargebacks. And I'm like, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Like, how did this happen? Like, that makes no sense. Now you're back working somewhere for $20 an hour.
Right.
There's something wrong.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I try to upfront, like anybody I talk to, here's the things that'll make you succeed. Here's the things that will crush you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's big.
Yeah. Well, all right. So more on that. You're going to want to check out the next level this Friday. We're going to dig more into that.
Nice.
We're talking about the leads, but those early conversations of how to get an agent started and profitably, because the idea is recruiting agents is the first part.
Yeah.
Getting them paid is the second. And the third part is getting them to stick around.
Yeah.
And it's things like that sometimes will make or break someone's, longevity there in this business. So, Matt, I appreciate you coming out and doing this today. Guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you got any questions, drop them in the comments. You know where to find us every week right here on the True Talk. And don't miss the next level this Friday. We're going to continue this and get a little deeper. We'll see you there.